My first pageant ever was in second grade. I was really an introverted child. And so my mom thought, what's the most extreme situation I can put you in to force that out? And so I competed for Miss Northern Air Force Base and won. I don't know how I won. And from there, I actually was an athlete. I played basketball at Fresno State for 4 years, and I was injured several years in a row. And so as a joke on the media guide, I put, if I weren't playing basketball, what would you be doing? And I said, competing for Miss America. And I really thought I would never do that. But as I was injured and I wasn't playing basketball, I thought, okay, well, some sort of depressed, rehab room. I was like, okay, I guess I'll compete for Miss America. Yeah, the uniform is way cuter. No, I'm teasing. It's a lot more glamorous. I was always a feminine basketball player. In high school, I would put lace on the edges of my socks, or I'd always wear a bow matching the season, and really that's not normal in basketball. So I always was kind of more feminine. But the type of girl is sort of different, because I find that athletes we're just more rough, basketball shorts are always big, and pageant girls tend to wear things more tailored. But really the worlds are very similar in the mentality, the work ethic, the community service. It's very similar. It was insane. My whole basketball team was there. Adrian Wiggins is back here locally. He was there, and I mean, to see a basketball team at a beauty pageant was so much, and they were so loud. It was so much fun. I've always been a visionary in the sense that I like to imagine what it would be like to be successful, very much like a basketball player. You imagine that free throw going in. But then to actually have that moment, you don't understand why women cry. You're like, that moment. And so this, let me explain, is a combination of don't ruin my makeup, right? Because you don't want to touch your face because you spent so much time on it. But oh my gosh, is what you want to do. So it's like this internal struggle of like, touch my face, don't touch my face. Ah! That's that moment.
So you finally could identify.
I could totally. I was like, why do those weird girls do that? And then here I am doing the stereotypical pageant moment. I feel like pageantry is like my reboot, if you will. We had my 5-year-old. At the time she was 4. We had just adopted a little boy. We were struggling with infertility. And so I was really just feeling depressed, really, I guess, challenging or really contemplating my own self-worth as a woman, just because I was not having any luck having a baby. And so much, I didn't realize how much value we put in childbearing until I couldn't, and so it was so frustrating, and I was so depressed. And so I thought, what did I do last time when I was really depressed? I competed in a pageant. And really my mindset was, first, I need to refocus on something. I need to stop thinking about this infertility and waiting every month for this golden egg that's not happening. So I said, I'm gonna run a marathon. I woke up one morning, I set my alarm, I ran not even a block. And I said, I'm not running a marathon. I thought, what else can I do? It was really a blessing, because my platform was infertility support. And I didn't realize how many women struggle with infertility until I was kind of brave enough, if you will, to say, this is my issue and this is what I'm dealing with. And I really was able to connect with so many, literally around the country, women that were saying, I'm struggling with that too. What are you doing? How? Tell me about adoption. What is that like? So we adopted my second child. And we finalized his adoption the day before I competed for Miss California. And so I felt like or Mrs. California, I felt like I already won. I was like, I'm here, And once again, I forgot that there's a culture to the sport. I brought my little $50 evening gown from eBay. I literally put it in a gym bag. I just forgot that pageantry was a different. So then I get there and everyone's got an entourage, makeup artists and hair teams and these elaborate gowns. And I thought, oh, okay, we're back. The Miss America system, what I love about that system is it really does polish who you are. It doesn't change who you are. It just teaches you how to refine and make you a better you. And I think without that foundation, I don't think I would have had the successes that I had later. But I think in terms of the whole being and where I was in life and what I was able to give because of where I was in life, Mrs. California was way more impactful. Sometimes you can't give anyone anything if you don't have anything inside. And I think that because of that, I was able to give more as Mrs. California. It was crazier.
Yeah.
I mean, married, family. When you're Miss, you're like, have an appearance, peace. You just kind of, you get out your dorm or your apartment, whatever. But when you have an appearance as Mrs. California, especially when you're married with children, you have a lot more obligations. The sitter canceled. Oh no, there, it's just a lot more complicated. Let's see, my younger sister, actually signed with a modeling agency in Texas, and we're kind of competitive. And so I thought, if you can model, I'll start submitting myself. And so I signed with an agency in San Francisco first, and then I had one in Arizona, and North Carolina, and LA. And so I really did model full time for quite a while. Okay. It was fun. And modeling is just be who you are for the most part. So that wasn't really a hard transition. It's not as glamorous as you think it is, but it wasn't a hard transition from pageantry. So at about 2011, I finally had enough money to really take it off the way I wanted to. And it's been really fun to bring a real agency to the Central Valley. And I guess the biggest challenge is people are like, what, you're a real agent? You're not a school? I want to sign my daughter up. And I'm like, no, it's not really a sign up kind of thing, I've got some great local clients who keep us pretty busy, and I've got a little office now and an accountant. I feel so official, but it's really fun. It's really fun. That's probably what I would love to do. I love teaching, don't get me wrong, but if I could be an agent full time, that would be incredible. The nice thing about being the agent is I can work within my own moral boundaries, and so we don't do a lot of like alcohol and things that I wouldn't want to do as a model. I try to keep things really bubbly. So we do like jewelry trade shows. We do a lot of print for different local companies. There used to be some magazines here we would do a lot of work with. We're starting to get in the commercial market. That's really my next big push, is trying to get more models in the local commercials, because they're outsourcing them. They're hiring models from LA to do commercials here. And so I really would like to capture that market and be like, hey, you can do this here. Yeah, we don't have to go that far. So yeah, it's been a fun challenge. I honestly don't know. I know my husband gets really nervous anytime I say I have an idea. He just gives me this look like, oh no. I don't know what drives me, honestly. I don't like to be bad at anything, but I don't really care if I'm perfect, if that makes sense. I don't mind being second or third. I don't want to be last though. And I don't know, it's in me. I just like to be ambitious. I don't really like to waste time. If I have idle time, that's dangerous for me, because I'll come up with something to do. I don't watch a lot of television. I don't know. Yes, actually, probably I've got my eyes on Mrs. America, and then which leads to Mrs. World. I think, wouldn't that be cool if I was like, hey, yeah, I'm Mrs. World. And so probably I asked my husband, I said the next 5 years. My husband said he wouldn't mind if I did it sooner, just because when I'm competing, he's such a great counterpart to me. None of this also would happen if my husband wasn't so supportive and juggled kids while I was doing all this. But so I've got a 5-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a newborn, basically. And so I was really trying to work around what he would have to do, the load that he would have to carry if I won that title. And so he said she could be 2, and then we would just see what it looked like.